What's up YouTube, this is Thunderwolf89 here. Thought I'd do a deck profile on a deck I'm running at the moment. This format I can't bother to play seriously, mainly because the only thing people really play is Sam's Tengu plant, basically any plant variant, and it's just getting really boring chasing the same deck over and over again. And in plants, Tech Genotype Librarian is just ridiculous. So for the rest of this format, I'm just gonna play for fun. Really. So here's one of the decks I've been running and I'm having fun with. It's basically Cloudians or Cloudian Synchro. Basically, what I'm gonna do is show you a deck list, talk a little bit about each card, then show you some combos, and also a new idea I got, mainly from the Spectrum or Blackstorm, whatever his name used to be. Thing where he used to do God, like show you how to play a hand, like the God hand and the average hand. So I'll show you that as well. And what you can do in a turn. It was basically with a God hand, you can basically end up with a field of 2 Hyper Librarians, a Scrap Dragon, a Brionac, and a Kristya. And then that's enough for a game. And then what you would have in your hand around about 8-10 cards. I'll just quickly get through it. Basically here you have 3 Turbulence, the main Cloudian. Basically when he's normal, basically with all Cloudians, when you normal summon, or mostly all Cloudians, when you normal summon them, when they're normal summoned, well, they can't be controlled by battle. If it's in face-up defense, it kills itself. So technically, I could play when Weisel comes out and is legal, I could technically play it in this. So basically, just make Cloud self-destruct, drop a 2/5 beater to negate spells. Basically, yeah, they can't be controlled by battle. When in face-up defense, they just explode. When you normal summon any of them, they get 1 fog counter for each Cloudian you have on the face-up when it's normal summoned. And then Turbulence's effect for fog counters is, well, Turbulence's unique effect is when you can move from it 1 fog counter, especially from 1 smoke ball from your deck or your graveyard, which basically helps bring out level 1 to bring out Fishborg Blaster, use White Elephant's Gift, and basically it's pretty good. Well, it's the main Cloudian Synchro with, and then you got 3 Cloudian Storm Dragon. The first 3 effects are the same, can't be controlled by battle. If it's a face-up defense, it goes boom. But the other part of it is it cannot be normal summoned or special summoned, or normal summoned or set, sorry. But you can special summon it by removing from play 1 Cloudian in your graveyard. So you remove Turbulence, Nercop yourself, Smoke Ball, and its effect is you can put a fog counter on you can place basically a fog counter on a monster on the field. It doesn't say it has to be Cloudian as well, so you can just randomly put on any monster like a Synchro or something just for fun. But yeah, you can special summon him, put extra fog counters on Turbulence, and that's basically it. And you just never level 4 to go into Hyper Librarian or Synchro with. You got 2 smoke balls basically just here to bring out Turbulence and put a level 1 on the field, so you can go into Fishborg, the Formula Synchron, and use with White Elephant's Gift. 3 Fishborg, basically the tuner of the deck. Amazing, basically if you control level 3 or lower water monster, you can discard 1 card special in it. But the only thing is, all the materials for the Synchro summon have to be water. But then again, this is basically generic. Basically all the monsters, mostly all the monsters are water anyway. It's basically Cloudians, luckily, are fairy and water. Then we got, there's 3 different engines you can run for Cloudians that I've tested. There is the one I'm running at the moment, the Frog engine, which is 2 Treeborns, Ronintoadin, and Swap Frog. Basically, this engine you basically use Swap Frog to ditch Treeborn Frog for every turn, level 1 for Fishborg Blaster and any controller abuse and stuff. And good thing for a Swap Frog is to discard a Fishborg from your hand and special summon it. Basically, an easy way to ditch Fishborg, because there's not many ways to ditch Fishborg in this deck apart from having it in your hand to ditch with Swap Frog, Foolish Burial, 1 for 1. And another engine is the Gen X engine, where you use Undyne to send Fishborg down it, and Gen X controller. This kind of allow, like, glitch if you play castles with it as well. Gives you access to locomotion, and you can use a lure with it. And then you got the other engine, which I first tried, which I just thought was basically too slow, was the Screech engine. Basically use Mother Grizzlies and Screech. Mother Grizzly can bring out basically all the main ones, all the Cloudian, mainly all the Cloudians. Fishborg Blaster as well, and then also use to bring out Screech. And then Screech is basically, what Screech does is, if it's a Strawberry battle, you can send 2 water monsters from your deck to your graveyard. It's basically use the set Screech, they kill it, you send Fishborg Blaster and Treeborn Frog, then this is you're all set up. And if you're holding the Turbulence, you just go straight for it. But I chose to use the Swap Frog because I needed more ways to discard Fishborg, and I found Screech too slow. But yeah, got 3 Swap Frogs. Use them to send Treeborn Frog and Ronintoadin to the grave, and mainly use them to discard Fishborg Blaster from it. And plus, there's level 2 to bring out Fishborg Blaster if you haven't got level basically a level 3 or lower. What monster does special summon out, and you can basically just discard that, banks it back to hand, discard 4 Fishborg Blaster. Got Ronintoadin, basically a bit of defense, and basically tribute fodder really. And you got Treeborn Frog, which is every turn extra monster to defend yourself with, and then if you bring out Turbulence with Treeborn Frog, that's 2 Formula Synchrons, well, a Halberd Librarian and 2 Formula Synchrons, which can get you extra 4 draws. Since mostly all these monsters, the main monsters of the deck, are below 1500 attack, I got Sangan to search for key parts. Like if I got Swap from my hand and Turbulence, I can use it to grab Fishborg Blaster to get ready, or if I got Fishborg Blaster in grave, use it for Turbulence, grab Turbulence to start off my Synchro spam. And I play in next monster is Archlord Kristya. If you've noticed, Cloudians are water type for water, so you got basically water like frog, so you can use a frog engine. And also another thing they are fairies, which is pretty awesome. So you can basically play fairy support with that. So basically, that's 1. Someone can bring out that's 2. Same with that. If you bring out Storm Dragon or discard multiple Cloudian monsters to the graveyard, you can really easily drop 4 in the graveyard and then drop a 3 Kristya to grab back Turbulence. So if they kill Kristya, get back to your deck. You normal summon this, synchro a bit, then drop this again, and it stops special summons, which is good against quite a few decks nowadays. And the other last monster is Gorz, because I basically play this like Frog Monarchs basically, so I barely ever set any back row, and I thought, since a lot of decks try to OTK, I drop Gorz in to stop OTKs against me, and basically if I have that in opening hand, I can play conservatively, drop that, force them to use a lot of resources to get rid of it, then go for the spam. Spells, we have Monster Reborn is a staple, Dark Hole is a staple, Trunade is a staple, Book of Moon is basically a staple, Force Burial to send Fishborg Blaster or Treeborn Frog to the grave, or Ronintoadin. 1 for 1, ditch Treeborn Frog or extra Cloudians in the graveyard to drop Kristya to bring out Fishborg Blaster. 3 enemy controllers, basically, since I use the Frog engine, I can standby phase, bring out Treeborn Frog, tribute it, still doing standby phase for enemy controller, take my opponent's monster, then still standby phase, bring out Treeborn Frog, and then I could potentially use them, bring out a Formula Synchron, draw 1, and then synchro with their monster for like a level 8 black. Right, if say they got level 5 black rose their field, go into it, or if I play Shooting Star Dragon, if they got Star Dragon with a Shooting Star and stuff. Yeah, since all the Cloudians and frogs are below 1500, I play Salvage to get a bit pluses as well. I played 2 White Elephant's Gift. It's basically really good draw power, because since Cloudian Turbulence can special from the grave as well as the deck, it's better if you've got a Turbulence in hand with this. This is really never dead, because you've got a lot of ways to get Turbulence, and Turbulence can special from Cloudian Smoke Balls from the graveyard, so it's really easy to get a extra, like, draw 2 cards. Since they're all mortar monsters, I play Moray of Greed, extra draw power just to search for, basically need a lot of draw just to get, so you could get off your combo quicker and spam synchros or draw Kristya and stuff. And since and the only traps I use is Spiritual Water Art, because it's always good to set a Treeborn Frog this first turn or something, or Fishborg if you have it in your hand, put it in the graveyard, look at the hand, predict, and then you'll see what they can do next turn, and you can and basically if you have the stuff to go off and you know they can't stop you, you can just go straight off, not caring. Then I'll show you the extra deck and my tokens that I use with it 'cause it's fun, but I can't find my shiny fluff tokens or my score token either. Right, then you got the main one. Right, the first ones are Formula Synchron. Play 3 Formula Synchron because you could easily go into Fishborg and Treeborn Frog, and it basically lets you synchro with different attributes to synchro with, since Fishborg Blaster has to do with water monsters. Armory Arm, because I can make a level 4, and just in case I've got 2 Librarians in the field, which I sometimes do, and I've got then I bring out the Formula Synchron. I can basically just go like summon Swap Frog, synchro into Armory Arm, get 2 draws one off each Librarian, and plus it's good to make your monster bigger than your opponent's, and to inflict a bit burnus, which is cool. I can easily go to level 5, so I've got a Catastor in here, just kills anything that's non-dark instantly. 2 Librarians, you can drop level 5 really easy, as I said. Turbulence, because it's level 4, brings that smoke pool to allow Fishborg to be brought out and then go to this. And then once you bring out this, for every single you bring out, it's a extra draw basically. And if you have 2 of these on the field, every single you bring out is a pot of greed, which is awesome. Just to make it so I can synchro higher than like the low levels, like 6 and lower and stuff. For Dewloren, I can basically bring out Fishborg Blasters, Ronintoadins and stuff, just to bounce them back to hand for extra discard fodder, and to make this pretty strong. Plus then I can synchro a Fishborg Blaster with this, make Gungnir Black Rose or something. Then you got Brionac, basically generic, bounces cards, also the water. I've got play an Arcanite Magician as well, because Librarian is Spellcaster, and so I can basically, one of the combos I can do is basically just go Turbulence, bring out Smoke Ball, synchro into Librarian, synchro into Formula Synchron, I get 2 draws, and I only wasted like 2 cards to do it, so basically bring out Archlord Kristya, but up 2 cards on the field as well, which is awesome. And I can't be bottomless, which isn't fun. Blackroot Dragon, basically I can do the same with Librarian, but rather than go to Arcanite, just nuke their entire field. And out Gungnir, I can basically, it's basically awesome to destroy 2 discard Fishborg Blasters or dead cards in your hand, like Smoke Balls, put up your opponent's cards. You can make it with Dewloren, basically so you don't use it much, and then you can still use it to synchro with Fishborg into higher levels like level 8 and stuff. Monster Dragon, it's basically one of the best level 8s we've got at the moment. I've got limited deck space, extra deck space for it, so I thought Scrap Dragon was the best one to use. Plus, I can bring out Ronintoadin for like free fodder for its effect, and Treeborn as well. Obviously, put Trishula. I can basically, if you bring out a Turbulence, if a Turbulence, bring out Smoke Ball to discard for Fishborg, special summon a Storm Dragon as well, and it's a Trishula. Yeah, and it's water as well, which I can treat for Spiritual Water. Last card, I play Tech Genus Halberd Cannon. I probably would take this out, but I like it for the fact that you can go you can just drop 2 Librarians and Formula Synchron, draw like 4 cards with it in total, without, as if you have another Formula Synchron, you bring out draw 6 cards, and then bring out this. Then if you have Kristya in hand, you can drop Kristya. With this and Kristya, your opponent cannot special summon because of Kristya, and any time if they try to normal summon, you can just go no, force them to set with this. And it's got 4,000 attack and defense, which is pretty good. Negate summons. But the good thing about this, if they send it to get rid of it, destroy it, and send it to the graveyard, you bring back a Hyper Librarian. You use Synchro into it. It's pretty cool. For basically, what else I do? Yeah, a few combos. Basically, you can just go Turbulence, gets one counter, use counter, especially that Fishborg Smoke Ball. Then you can discard a card because you control level 1 and level 3 of water monster to Fishborg Blaster. Synchro, these two, Halberd Cannon, and then say you've got and if you say now you've got a Storm Dragon hand, you can just go Roof Play, Turbulence from your graveyard, especially from Storm Dragon, discard Fishborg Blaster, Synchro into another Hyper Librarian. So that's two Hyper Librarians, then you draw one from this Hyper Librarian. So that's one extra card you got. Then you discard Fishborg Blaster, Synchro into Formula Synchron. Then you draw 1, 2, 3. That's 3 cards. So basically one for each of those. And then if you can, if you draw another Storm Dragon, you can special some Storm Dragon. When we play the Smoke Ball, you just send it to the graveyard. Synchro into like a Gungnir or Brionac. Then you draw 1, 2. That's a pot. Basically, that your Dewloren you just synchroed out. Basically, was a pot of greed. And then say you've got a Ronintoadin in the graveyard. Move and play a frog. If I can hide it. Ronintoadin. Then since now you have a level 3 or water monster on the field, you can discard Fishborg Blaster, Synchro into Gungnir, because you don't want to waste the Black Rose Dragon and you can't go to Arcanite yet. And then you draw another pot of greed. One for this, one for that. Draw an extra card. So basically you should have quite a few cards in your basically you're just matting up the cards in your hand now. So you use the effect, discard 2 cards to block 2 cards your opponent controls. Then you can discard, since you have a Ronintoadin still on the field, for Fishborg Blaster. Then you can Synchro into level 8. Scrap Dragon. And look, again, you draw 1, draw 2. That's a pot of greed again. You're drawing a lot of extra cards, you're taking out your opponent's field with you, like basically whittling your opponent's field down. Now, since you can no longer, there's no more water monsters in the field, special summon, use effect Scrap Dragon. Type Ronintoadin you have, that you got for free, just to help you synchro climb and get basically many pots of greed, or lose more draws. The target Ronintoadin opponent's cards, so you're basically taking out 3 of their cards while you're drawing loads and spamming, and at least got 3 pretty big synchros on the field. And now, by this time, you've probably drawn quite a lot of your deck, and you could possibly mount up around about 4 fairies in the graveyard. And by now you've probably wiped out the field. Hopefully you've wiped out the field. Then you just special some Kristya. Kristya's effect, add a fairy back to your hand, so basically say add back Turbulence just in case you do have Dark Hole. Or if you want to say you have Spiritual Water on your hand. Before this you basically bring out Ronintoadin back again, then drop Kristya. So if you can't kill them, you basically Spiritual Water to drop a Dark Hole that they could possibly have in their hand, or anything they can come back with. While you just basically sit there, in this basic game. With that field, they cannot drop Battle Fader, because of Kristya, they cannot drop Battle Fader, Tragodia, or Gorz, which is pretty awesome. This video is actually getting on pretty long, 90 minutes, wow, I talk too much. If there's any deck you want to see a deck profile of, just comment in the thing below. I'll put the full deck list up in the little description box. Another thing is, there's a kid who's comes to my local now. He's a pretty cool player. I thought I'd give him a shout out. I'll put a link. I've basically put a thing in the description box. I'll try and put a link if I can find out, or if I can figure out how, or if I'm bothered how. But yeah, if there's any decks you want, if there's any deck type you want me to do a deck profile on, just PM in the box PM me or put a description in the box below, or basically post below in the comment section. And because I can basically build it, I can probably build any deck, and I might basically be interested in playing it myself. But yeah, I'll probably be doing another deck profile later on. For what deck was it? I might do an update for my self-bounce deck, and I might do a deck list on the Jammers, since we now have the Exceeds. If you haven't seen the Exceeds, we now have Exceeds and monsters have been released. They released Thursday. They're pretty awesome. The only one I can probably get out at the moment is Granosaurus, but yeah, we have number 39, Hope, and well, Utopia, it used to be called Hope, Granosaurus, and Gatsu. Today, for a little tournament we have, because we had Magic going on, so we had to go somewhere else for a tournament, managed to finish off a whole match by using Granosaurus, one with a burn effect, one for attack for game, which is awesome. But yeah, I'm going to stop talking now because the video is really long, and yeah, so rate, comment, subscribe, and put any opinions you have in the comment section. Bye.